Welcome. This is a presentation from DIY Marketing, where we say, yes, you can. Now, roll up your shirt sleeves and get out your elbow grease. You're going to learn how to become a dynamic DIY marketer.
Good morning, everybody. I am Lauren Darr, coming to you from DIYmarketing.tv. And we are going to talk today about creating landmarks so that you can get your business or company recognized. This was inspired by a trip that I took with my family down Route 66 out in Arizona. We decided to get out on the road one day when we had taken a family vacation out there to Williams, which is on the mouth of the Grand Canyon, a great place to visit if you ever get a chance. And we just kind of drove down Route 66. The Cars movie had come out, and my son was in love with anything Cars and wanted to see Route 66. Well, as we went along the highway, there were several places to stop along the way. So, of course, being a mom, I got my kids out of the car. My teenager might not have been too thrilled about it at the time, but we made her do it anyway. And they would stand in front of a teepee or stand in front of a dinosaur or whatever other landmark might have been there, and we took pictures. And what I realized as we were doing this is that every single stop, we kind of stopped and looked around at the scenery and what was going on and chatted about the place and how quaint and how neat it was. But the one thing that I realized is every single time we stopped, we also spent money, whether that was going into a restaurant or whether it was stopping at a little museum or just getting souvenirs along the path. And I thought, now that's absolutely a great idea, and I don't see it as much as I could or should for businesses. So obviously creating some type of landmark that will make people stop will ultimately generate business for your community and possibly you. It depends on what kind of business you have, if you're a retail establishment or not. Expenses for landmarks can depend on the type of materials that you use and how simple or complex your landmark is. I've seen in a couple places landmarks that are made out of metal. There was a metal shop that I've seen that created a little figurine, a little man out of metal. And I've also seen the same type of thing from a place that deals with plastics and PVC. So obviously those companies are using their own product to create some landmark. Well, does that mean that people are coming in and buying tons of PVC pipe? Probably not, but it gets them recognized in the community and it makes people stop and at least ponder for a while. Now, some other ideas, if you don't have a business that lends itself to that, is creating something huge. For example, in growing up in my hometown in Richmond, Indiana, there was a place called Fred First Ford, and his advertisements always were under the flag in Richmond, and it was a car dealership. And so there was this huge flag that was always blowing across, US 40 on the east side of town, and everyone knew absolutely where that flag was when he advertised under the flag in Richmond. Another thing that you can think about is maybe a light display. This could be something that's seasonal to get traffic generated and traffic going by your business. With all of the software that's out there now and people that are proficient in using this type of software and setting that up, if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself, you could always hire someone to do something like that for you. A huge example of this is in front of the Bellagio in Las Vegas, but with the fountains and the lights and the music. But perhaps you don't want to get that elaborate, but scaled, it can give you the same idea. Another thought is to have maybe the world's largest something or other. There's a furniture store that I've been to that basically when you go in, you walk under this huge chair, and on it, it says it's the world's largest chair. So that is something that can also get you attention in a landmark, and I've seen people out there taking pictures of that also. Think about other things, like if you're a restaurant, is there some kind of vintage transportation that you can use? Maybe a 50s theme if you're a diner, and have a car in there that people can sit in while they eat, or a double-decker bus. I've been into a restaurant that has a double-decker bus, and that was kind of cool. Otherwise, if you have a building, you can always paint the side of the building with a mural, whether that's branded with your own thing, whether it's something supportive of the community, or just some kind of cool abstract art. Those are ideas for other people coming by and stopping to come by your business and creating a landmark out of what you have. You can always build a mascot or a character and have that done with fiberglass or wood, just some other things. And something that's really come into vogue lately is planting a garden. And if you think, well, I'm limited on space, I really can't do that, there are some really neat ideas for actually creating gardens and aquariums along walls, outdoors and indoors. So that's something you can just do a Google search on something like that. Another idea is doing inflatables. Whether you have an inflated mascot or what have you, something like that along the lines to get attention for your brand, make people stop and ponder and ultimately spend money for your business. So if you have any comments or questions, or hey, even if you have some pictures that you can send in of some great landmarks, I'd love to see them. Please feel free to send those in to us on our website. And I am Lauren Darr, coming to you from DIY Marketing. Have a wonderful day.
This has been a presentation of DIY Marketing. Thank you for joining us. Now get out there and market, because oh yes, you most certainly can.